What I find with objections is people get really hung up on it. They think they're problems, they think something's gone wrong, they think it's like a really bad thing. And we get a lot of just mental thought and energy wasted in this part of the sales process when actually what your clients want is you. They want you to help them figure it out. So we'll go through what I normally hear happening when someone gets an objection and they say something like, sounds great, but I need to go and think about it. I need to go and check cash flow. I need to go and check with someone. My guess is what happens is that you start feeling really awkward in some way and you just want to get out. You start having a lot of mental noise, a lot of thought, and it's usually what I call triple A that is at play. It's either one or possibly all three of these things happening. The first one is that there's assumptions that you have made about your clients, about their ability to buy, their ability to make decisions. And what you hear is something that makes you think that's true. So you don't go the extra mile. You don't ask any more questions. You're not in there with them neutral and just listening. You're just like, oh my God, I thought that. You've said that. Oh, it's just a complete waste of my time. I'm out. And so's your customer. So it might sound something like, I don't think people in my local area can afford what I am offering. I don't think they can pay the level that I'm offering and that I'm charging. So when your customer says, I need to go and check cash flow, your brain's going to be like, oh, well, there we go. Yeah, they think it's too expensive. I don't think they can afford it. Boom, I'm out. And we don't try. We don't sit there for the client. We don't hold that space. We're just out. The second thing that happens is agreement, where you've heard them say something and you actually agree with them. It sounds extremely reasonable. So you feel a little awkward in challenging that because you're like, that's how I make decisions. For example, I need to go and check with my partner, my boyfriend, husband, wife, girlfriend, business partner. Like, okay. You might think, oh my God, yeah, that's what I do. I go and check with them as well. So it seems so reasonable. I'm not going to challenge that. Yeah, you just let me know. Yeah, you have a chat and then yeah, just let me know. I'll be here. And they're not coming back because we didn't really handle the thought or the objection they actually had. We agreed with them and we let them go. And the final thing is avoidance. You feel like really awkward, like super awkward. You get tongue tied. You don't know what words to say, questions to ask. Do you even ask any questions? Do you say anything? What's going on? Dry mouth. Words have just fallen out of your head. And so, of course, your brain's screaming at you to just get out of that situation straight away. Like you can't help them. Like, just get. This is really awkward. If they wanted it, it would just have been a yes. Like, this is all about money. I hate talking about money. I'm out. I'm out. And so your client doesn't get the help that they need. So they still got this problem and they haven't actually worked through what's going on because we've not given them the opportunity to. We've either heard something that we agree with, we've heard an assumption and then something's confirmed that, or we're just avoiding it altogether. And so what I teach is a conversation cycle that helps people to stay in neutral and troubleshoot it with your client instead of just letting them go. So what does this sound like in practice? Well, first of all, an objection will come in. So if we have something like, I need to go and check cash flow, so that'll drop in here. We really want to listen. Now, a lot of people that I coach go, yeah, of course I listen. I listen. This is cash flow. What do they really mean by cash flow? I wonder what's making them say that is the question that I want you to channel in. That's going to put you into neutral gear. It's not going to make it about you. It's going to make it about them. So I wonder what's making them say that. Really great question to just have in your wheelhouse. And then we're going to acknowledge and empathize. We're going to really help make sure that they feel understood and heard. So you're saying to me that you're going to need to go and check cash flow. Is that correct? Yes, no. Okay, I get that. Most of my clients want to go and check and make sure that they can afford it, for sure. It's a big investment. And then before we go and inform and share our solution, but yeah, it's really going to do this and it's definitely going to give you that. And da, 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 da. We want to really check what's going on. And this is where you're going to look like rock stars for your clients. You're going to be all about this is about being in service to them, this bit. This bit Straight down here, when you just listen and then start talking and telling them stuff, is about selling. That's when you sell at people. We don't want to do that. We want to really be in service and make sure we understand what's actually going on. So they've said cash flow. I need to go and check that. Wonder what's making them say that. Let's just normalize this. Let's just create a really nice environment by acknowledging and empathizing that that's okay. And then we'll find out here what's actually really going on. So when you go and check cash flow, what sort of things are you going to be checking? How will you know if you can afford this or not? What if you can't afford it? What would you do? What's making it feel expensive? What's making it feel slightly out of reach? If you knew you were going to get a result guaranteed, would it still feel risky? Would you still need to go and check the cash flow? What's making you want to go and check cash flow? Because they're business owners. They know if they've got cash in the bank or not. They knew that before they got on the call. It's more likely they've heard a figure. It's a bit more than what they wanted to pay, or they've got some thoughts on that figure. They've got thoughts on moving the money around. It's not quite, how they thought it would be. And they've just got a ton of thinking on it and they need some help figuring it out. So then at that point, we can share what we're thinking and we can share our thoughts and we can inform them. And after that, we'll go and check back. So now that I've shared that with you, how does that sound? What are your thoughts on moving forward? Should we get started? Should I raise the invoice? Should I send the product out? And then we're either going to go yes and on board, or we're going to need to go around again. And another thought, another objection might surface. We listen again and we move around. And we're really listening for the little, nuggets of information that sit underneath the words that people say. For example, anything to do with money, cash flow, I'm not sure I can afford it. It's only going to be expensive if A, they don't really want it that badly, the result and the outcome or the product, or they don't think it's possible to get, or they think it's too risky, too hard, too complicated, too difficult to achieve. So we want to call that out. And that might be what we share there. In my experience, when people say cash flow, it's really normal for that to come up. You're investing in things, it's scary. It's never going to feel comfortable. But can I ask you, what's coming up for you when you think about that? What result do you think you'd be able to get? If we move it away from finance, what else is coming up for you? What do you think about the solution itself? How out of 10, how possible do you think it is to get the result? That's a really great question because it's going to tell you where their belief is on this. And it's normally something like cash flow is, I just don't think I'm going to get that result. It's really risky. So then when we start talking about, you can split the payments, you can do this, you can do that, it's missing the mark. We're not really answering the question that they've got. And so this cycle, when used properly, instead of just going straight down to talk at people, you're going to really find out by this bit here and all these questions, you're going to find out so much more information about your client. You're going to take them from being really confused, really scared, really nervous, in indecision to decision. So, when you do that, people make better decisions quicker. They feel good about it. Your conversion rate increases. You get to help more people and you get more money in the bank and you get to control some of the timelines that are happening. So my top tips for this is, after this point, if we're going round here again, and it's okay to go round and round this, people might have 2 or 3 objections coming up, if not more. We want to use this time that we've got together, this vessel of the sales conversation, to go through it. It's not a problem. But we really want to agree any next steps. So if someone's going away to do something or whatever, bring them back, have another time that you're going to talk. And that shouldn't be a really long period of time. We want to try and get it as quickly as possible, 24, 48 hours. Or we're onboarding and we're actually closing and we're going through those next steps. But this is what's going to help you to help your clients in a much better way. You're going to feel so much more in control. You're going to help them, make yourselves a little bit more money, help them get started or get the product, whatever it is that they're doing quicker. So if your conversion rate is less than 70%, you're a business owner that has an offering that's over £1,000. You are not getting the traction that you thought. You're getting some leads coming through, you're having conversations, but they're not actually converting. And those 3 things, that avoidance, that assumption, and that agreement, you're nodding away going, oh God, yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I think and feel. Your thoughts around this are what are costing you those opportunities. Imagine if just a couple more of those opportunities had said yes, how much more money would be in your business account? How many more people would be getting your product or your offering or your service? And what would that help them go on and do? So there's like so much more at play here, so much more available. And I really want to unlock that with you. So in the comments, there is a link to book a consultation call. We're going to go through what's happening for you. We're going to go through what's creating the current results, what you'd like to be different, and then we'll get a solution and a plan of how you can go and do that and how I can help you achieve that. So that's in the link. Book today, and I've got 2 spaces left between now and the end of the year to start. So the start of 2024 could be very different for you when you start doing this work now. And it's so much more fun and easier to do it with someone as well. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.